Okay, I got a scenario for you. I'm gonna run this by you. And I
Hit me.
want you to tell me what you think if
Do
this
it.
were to happen.
Do it.
Okay. So we've got our crew, our good guys. They're finally together and they're looking over this Death Star. They go down to it and they walk in and you hear the laughing as they're walking down the corridors, right? Ray's like, the hell is that? None of them know what's going on, but they got to keep going forward because we're here for some reason. There's always a MacGuffin, right?
Yep.
So they get to what is the throne room, and he rolls around, and that's when we see it, right? And it's Emperor Palpatine. He says it in cryptic words about cheating death, blah blah blah. And then out of nowhere, old Snokey walks in, and then it's finally revealed that Snoke was Darth Plagueis. How would you feel? How would you feel?
Well, like, where's Snoke's bottom half?
So who talks first? You talk first? I talk first.
I'm one with the Force is with me.
I've seen your daily routine. You're not busy.
This is where the fun begins.
I find that answer vague and unconvincing.
We're fine. We're all fine here now, thank you. How are you?
We would be honored if you would join us.
Hey guys, it is still the Cantina Cabana here. We are doing a little bonus video of the hottest thing that came out of that trailer for what was it called? Rise of Skywalker.
Rise of Skywalker.
It's the like it's The Force Awakens, The Last Jedi, The Rise of Skywalker. So it's like the only thing I don't like about the title itself. But anyways, you guys stumbled upon our bonus video where we're just going to talk about the biggest thing that came out of that is Rise. It's also funny it says Rise in there because Palpatine, guys, Palpatine is coming back. At least I hope so. Subverting expectations here. Not doing it. Okay. Yeah, Ian McDiarmid, definitely going to be in this. So we're just going to have fun and talk about Palpatine theories. First off, are you cool with Palpatine coming back? Like, how is this going to make sense? What do you think when you heard his laughter and just how it ended? What do you think about it?
Yes. Good. I said in our trailer discussion video, I said that moment in the trailer where all the characters are together, which met one of my 5 things I wanted from the movie. When all the characters were together on that mountain looking down at the Death Star piece, and we heard Palpatine laugh. That was the moment where the movie trailer won me. That's where I was like, okay, I am more excited for this now than I was before. I don't know how he factors into the movie. I have no idea.
That's the thing. It's like being hurt. You're hurt so much that you're numb and you can't feel it. Like I cannot even wrap my brain around how this happens. And we have a lot of questions about how this is going to happen. Mainly, my biggest start off right off the bat concern is how does this affect the ending of Episode 6 with Return of the Jedi and Darth Vader's. That's his ultimate redemption. That's his one shiny gold star that he got at the end of his life, being Darth Vader, is killing Emperor Palpatine. So does that change things for us? What does that do?
I think that it all depends on how they decide to handle the ending of this movie, because if we are to assume that Palpatine is coming back and he'll be the final, quote unquote, final bad guy, and maybe that means we get a Kylo redemption arc. If Kylo or no, I hope not, but we're probably going to. If Kylo or Rey were to be the one to take out Emperor Palpatine's zombie form, I think that would have a negative impact on Episode 6. Because, like you said, that is Darth Vader's, Anakin Skywalker's key moment in redemption. And I think that moment should be left untouched. That's a holy moment.
It's a memorial. Yeah, it's like a statue. You can build a statue of Darth Vader, chunking it. We've seen the robot chicken. Like that is.
Yeah. That is a moment. Think about it like Syndrome from The Incredibles. If everyone's super, then no one is.
You sly dog! You got me monologuing.
If everybody can throw Emperor Palpatine into electrical reactor, then no
like,
one
oh,
can.
no problem,
It's,
no big deal.
yeah, so I hope I mean really, and this is something I just kind of thought about. I hope that that's kind of misdirection, not in that he doesn't show up in the movie, but I kind of am starting to warm up to the idea that Matt Smith is going to be a young Palpatine because that laugh did sound different. I mean, it sounded a little similar, but to me, it does sound more like an impersonation or an attempt at doing that laughter.
I don't know. I can't. It's too early to judge. Initially, to me, it sounded like a re-recording from episode 3. I'm
Mm-hmm.
guessing. But
Mm-hmm.
again, how you said, um, where does this? You said, what did you say? A clone zombie? Did you say clone zombie of Palpatine
Yeah,
or
I was
something?
just kidding. I
The,
said Palpatine zombie version.
Yeah, Palpatine
Like,
zombies. I mean, we're going all out now. The last thing we have of Palpatine that's in canon, unless it's somewhere buried deep in a book, is Star Wars Battlefront 2, where you have
yeah,
Idrin Versio confronting her dad, who's talking to a little robot dude on the bridge of a ship, and there's Palpatine's. He's on like a TV video robot dude that's got a contingency plan. That's really the last impersonation that we have of Palpatine. So I
yeah.
wonder if
So
that's going to
ba-
factor in somehow.
yeah, so basically, the last thing we've seen of Palpatine is him doing his best Tupac impersonation because he's a hologram.
Exactly, he's a hologram. So
So
you played that game a little bit more. There was what was going on in that storyline or that plot element?
yeah, I only played through the story.
Palpatine.
I only played through the story mode once, so it's a little foggy. But basically, the Emperor had a contingency plan that if he were to die, that the remaining Imperial leaders would have certain objectives that they had to carry out as part of some operation. I think it was called Operation Cinder, something like that. So he wasn't.
Execute order Operation Cinder.
Yeah, it's pretty much what it was. He wasn't there. It was just more of a here's a recording of me telling you what you guys need to do once I die. But yeah, pretty much that's the last thing we saw of Palpatine in canon, unless it popped up in one of those Wendig books or something.
Yeah. Well, that's another thing. Chuck Wendig, who wrote Aftermath, there is an observatory in Jakku in that novel that was placed there by Palpatine to look deep into the outer rim, something other. I didn't read Aftermath.
Mm-hmm.
But Palpatine has a connection to Jakku. We all know somebody else that has a connection to the planet Jakku. So there's a lot of fireworks and wheels turning in everyone's head, and I'm sure we're going to be speculating like crazy for the next 8 months. Does this mean that Rey is connected to Palpatine? Like, just straight up, what would be, give me a percentage on that.
I would be cool with that. I know that people have speculated for a long time who she's related to. Now, I said in the reaction video that I liked her being a nobody, but if she has to be related to someone or a descendant of someone, I think that it would make it more interesting narratively if she were a descendant of Palpatine. Now, I'm not saying I want that to happen. I'm saying that if there is a familial connection between her and someone else, I would say Palpatine. That would be cool. It would be a really interesting, like, oh shit, I'd be fine with it as long as it made sense. Percentages, I'm not gonna say it's very high. We're talking like 20%, 25, maybe 30.
Right.
I don't think it's going to happen. If it did and made sense, cool, but I don't think it will.
Yeah, that's the thing. I feel like this whole crazy, wild speculation that the whole world's about to get into. I feel like I'm just on the roller coaster, just clinking along, and I'm anticipating that drop, and I just don't know where I'm going to go, left, right, up, down, backflip. I don't know what's going to happen. I'm just going to be along for the ride and try to have a good time with it.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of good times, you ever hear the tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise?
No, because it's not a story the Jedi would tell me.
I thought not. Well, see, that's always been one of those little. Why don't we talk about that? Where's that at anywhere else? This obviously opens the door big time with the whole Darth Plagueis being Palpatine's master, learning how to cheat death, create life. it even intertwines with, the Immaculate Conception of Anakin, because that got recently dropped in a comic book, recently as in like the last 3 months, where Palpatine was overshadowing Smee's pregnant belly. So they've been dropping little hints here and there. We just haven't picked up on it.
Yeah. So do you think that he cheated death, or do you think that Plagueis is going to factor into anything at all?
I wouldn't say Plagueis specifically. I'm just saying that we're going to get answers to what was set up in that operatic scene with Anakin and Emperor Palpatine. We're going to finally get the tail end of that and more than likely see it play out. So that does raise that bar of intrigue and excitement, because again, fans have been kind of wanting a little bit more out of that story thread line. So I'm excited about that very specifically. If not anything, everything else about Palpatine coming back could be stupid, but if they can answer a little bit more about Plagueis and how does that work without, tapping into midichlorians, it's so interesting, this early on with just being day one of Star Wars Celebration, and we're getting mad bombs like Palpatine's coming back, yo, what up? Yeah. So, this was just a fun little, getting it started off early with Palpatine theories and just our initial reaction of Palpatine coming back. Hell yeah, I'm excited about it, but hell yeah, I'm mortified and terrified about it at the same time, because this does shake up a lot of things that we've already kind of set in concrete. And here comes JJ with his jackhammer, and he is coming to town hard.
Yep.
So thanks for clicking, guys. This is Cantina Cabana. Follow us throughout on the rest of our videos for this weekend and others. We have a lot of videos that we're trying to put out for you guys to enjoy. This is one of them, Emperor Palpatine. What the hell's going on? We don't know.